Hello everyone, my name is Mod, and welcome back to our Minecraft world. Now, in our last video, we went ahead and built up our lake down in this section of our new mountain valley range. And since then, I've done a little bit of detailing, not too much. I just added a couple of cattails and I moved around a couple plants, but that was really it. And in that episode, I'd also mentioned that we have a little bit more work to do, and that's located over here in this giant square hole that looks a little bit out of place compared to the rest of this area. And as you've seen by, I'm sure, the title of the video, we're going to be getting started on our temple. Now, I know I've been talking a lot about the temple in the last video and this video, but there's also another project I want to tackle in this episode, and that is finishing up this area down here, where there's sort of a transition point between our jungly, valley area here, and then our more traditional mountain range down on this side. Now, right now, I think one of my favorite sightlines in our world is this one here. I think it makes our castle look very, very grand, and I think we could do a lot with it, especially with this terrain that we have on our right side here, and then eventually I'll put something on the left here, maybe another mountain kind of like this, and then wrap it up to sort of connect to this mountain range and then to the rest. Anyways, that means that we are gonna have to really work on this whole area here and make it look much nicer, and also be sure to connect up our little pathing from here to over there too, and obviously down that way. But in the meantime, before that, I do want to collect a couple of materials just so that we have it, and obviously I have a little shulker box here full of some stuff that we have. Now eventually we're gonna have to use all this mangrove wood, and we're gonna have to place it down and then strip it and then break it once again. So my point being is that we'll get a much nicer red color than without having it stripped. In the meantime though, I guess our first objective is going to be to work on this area, maybe not necessarily get it all finished today, but I do want to get a good majority of it done. So what I'll go ahead and do is I'll cut to a time lapse, I'll collect some materials and start the building process. So I'll see you there. Everyone, we've gone ahead and obviously added our new entranceway to get into our mountain range, and I'm sure you saw in the time lapse, but I got a little lazy and I'm gonna leave this for a little later, because what I want to do is after fixing up the pathing here, I also want to connect it up to the rest of the mountain. Well, honestly, this isn't really a mountain, it's more of like, I guess it's a mountain actually. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna connect that up, and I was also thinking that for next episode, potentially, we could add like a cool entrance to this cave, since this goes pretty deep over here, and it has the stalagmites and stalactites, so I thought it could be almost like a bat cave. I thought it could be like a cool secret cave that we could enter. So if you guys have any ideas for what I should have in a cave like this, just leave it in the comments. But on to the next thing, I also want to add a couple of torii gates. So I got a suggestion in the last video that had said that we should add some torii gates to our world, and I was thinking I could have a bunch of them here leading all the way up top this path this way, and even adding a bunch of torii gates up this path, which could give a nice splash of red and help with the coloring. And then the same story over here, potentially just have one or two up here, and then Obviously that would mean that we'd have to have something cool at the top of all the torii gates. So maybe we could have like either a secret path or even a more grand path down this way that leads to a really nice build. All of that is future speculation though. So I think our next step here is to just start working on our main temple down this way. So I have a bunch of materials here that I've collected, and I'll go ahead and show you guys what I have. And what we're gonna do for this build is we're gonna use white, red, and this like golden bamboo colorish. Obviously it's not actually gold, but I think it gives like a nice accent. Like if we fly over here to our castle, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So coming up to our castle, obviously we haven't finished all of the interior yet. The main theme is sort of like a brown and gold theme, and like obviously a nice accent of white too. But I think this sort of indicates like a royal aspect, almost like not necessarily royal, but like a nice well done interior. And that's what I want to replicate in our other temple down this way. So I guess we ought to start stripping our mangrove logs because we have quite a few of them. And since the build is all red, it's going to require quite a lot of stripping. So that'll be our next step. I guess we'll do that, and I don't know if I'll talk again, but either way, let's get to this time lapse and start building. Alright everyone, we finally finished our exterior, and I want to make that a point that it's the exterior because I do want to do an interior, but we finished the exterior to our little temple here, and I'm honestly not sure what purpose I want it to have, or if it'll have a purpose at all, or I could just decorate it to look nice inside, not necessarily have a purpose at all. But I'll give a little tour a little bit closer up. So I ended up using a lot of blocks and like little things that I haven't before. Like calcite I've used on a couple of things, like that house over there has a couple of bits of calcite on it. But mangrove stuff I don't use too often, mainly because it's really annoying to get and I don't have like a tree farm for it. And initially the big pagoda that I have way down there was actually planned to have mangrove as the primary block instead of spruce and dark oak. But I decided to just go with the more natural colors because I just couldn't be bothered to make a farm. Anyway, some other unorthodox blocks that I've used are these bamboo highlights that I have, and then especially these tripwire hooks, which I think look really nice. I don't know what it is, but a lot of Asian designs tend to have like nice detail in their work. So I tried to incorporate that down here, and like obviously these pillars, they're a little hard to do just because they're one block. But if I were to back up over here, for example, they look really nice. Like there's a lot of detail to them, and which is like the same story over here, which Wow, these are not aging very well. I'm gonna have to redo them. But that's the gist of it. I mean, inside is pretty cramped, honestly. So I added like a couple of ladders up here where you could have, I don't know, maybe a living space or some sort of storage area. But it's nice that there's a terrace out here that you can kind of walk out on. Right now, this is the only like real view you can get because like back here there isn't much to look at, and I guess over here there's a nice place to look at. But it's not as easy to see as it is over here, for example. But this took a while to design. I mean, from back here, you can see it more clearly, but I tried to add like a little curve to the roof here because initially what I had done was just have it like a straight roof, which didn't have a lot of character to it. So I went ahead and added a bit of a curve to it, which I think adds a lot to the build. And it'll be a perfect house for Sky to stay at because there's definitely going to be some separate room that I can use. That'll be a spare place where Sky can stay, at least for now. But I had a suggestion from the comments last video that we should make sure to have different houses for the dogs and other animals, of course, but they'd actually have like a designated place to live rather than just sort of being everywhere around the world. And I also made sure to add a couple of stairs as you saw in the time lapse. These are a little bit like awkward to do because I had them outwards too far and it was peeking over the edge here, which I didn't like, so I pushed it back in, but it turned out better than I'd hoped actually. But the next thing on the agenda is going to be to work on the interior. I have a couple ideas for what I want to do, so I guess we'll just get straight to it. It'll be a little bit awkward showing off how I build an interior with replay mod, but I'll figure it out. We'll make it work. So I'll see you in a little bit. All right, everybody, we finished our beautiful temple here. We finished the interior to it. Now, finally, after maybe about an hour or two. And I say an hour or two because normally this wouldn't take that long, but these sets of diamond armor took a while since I haven't actually made diamond armor in quite a while. I haven't really had to. But anyway, that's besides the point. I've tried to make the interior really cozy on the inside, kind of like, I don't know, a workshop of some sort. So we've got like a work area here. I don't know, some magical potion things here where they're growing stuff. Just silly, lighthearted stuff. I still have to add a couple of books. I think I want to add some more like little books here just to make it more detailed than the same story up here too. But we've also added Sky, so Sky is no longer up there, and now she's down here just chilling. And I was also considering up here what I should do. Originally I was going to have Sky up here, which actually could be a nice addition, but then I thought about it some more and I figured that maybe some other animals could come up here and it might be a nice idea. So I think there's a panda in a forest that's way down this way, or not a forest, but a jungle that's way down that way. And if I can somehow transport that panda over here, this might be a nice home for it. Maybe not necessarily up here, maybe in the back might be more appropriate for something that big. But regardless, it looks like we're pretty much done on the interior. I could add a little bit more up here. It's not super flushed out, but if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. Now, we have made a decent amount of progress in this video, but next video, or next episode I should say, is gonna have a lot to involve this area here, and the same sort of deal with this area. So basically what I mean by that is I want to add a path that leads from here, it goes down this way and connects to our other path right here, and then additionally, if I fly up here you can see better, but it'll go this way, and then we'll also go this way leading all the way connecting right up to this fork right here. Well, what will be a fork if you stand right about here. And I have some pretty giant plans for how I want to approach this whole area here, because right now it's nice and we worked on it quite a lot, so it's a lot better than it was, but it's still got a lot of work to do and it isn't quite up to what I have in my head. But there's no need to worry because all of that's going to come in their coming episodes, if not just next Minecraft episode. I was also wondering if anyone had an idea for what I should call this place. Because right now I just sort of call it the Mountain Valley, which is a very vague term, and I would love it if I could get some suggestions for what, you know, each place should be called. Like this temple here, I just call it a temple. But I think it would be special if we got some viewers to name different places like this temple. An example I'm thinking of is down here. I think I'm going to start calling this place Llama Lake. And I want to call it Llama Lake, well, because Last video, during the time lapse, I guess a wandering trader came in and started floating in the lake and then left its llamas there. So there was just a random llama just swimming in the lake, and I felt that it was only fitting to call it Llama Lake, and I think someone actually commented that, so that's where I got the idea from. But stuff like that, having a reason behind why things are called certain things. I also have a bunch of plans for this area, sort of connecting up to our city over here that we still have yet to work on. But this place I think has some of the most potential in the world. I have some really big plans, so I'm excited to delve into that eventually. But unfortunately, we've run out of time for this episode. As I said, I'm really trying to keep up a consistent upload schedule and really get some good progress done for the world for you guys. But I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.